Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Spotty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. Happy International Women's Day to you, Cecilia. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And of course, it's International Women's Day, and the theme for this year is breaking the bias. So we will be talking to some women who are actually making changes in the world of sport, especially in a field where you feel, why is a woman actually in that position? You know, you look at the cabinets of most governors, the cabinets of, most presidents, and you can just identify one or two women. But then when you now have a woman actually heading a particular top position in sport, especially the overall #1 citizen in that state in sport, then you have a lot, to see. And of course, what she's really doing to change the narratives when it comes to women feeling, oh, she really can't do that job because she's a woman. But also, we'll not be doing the show alone tonight. Of course, Kehinde Idris is right here in the studio in Lagos because it's a Tuesday. Kehinde?
It's good to be here. Yes, because it's a Tuesday and Kehinde needs to be here and he's here. And I'm joining the entire world, whether you're a woman, you're a man, to say Happy Women's Day. I got a team some years ago. He said the best man for the job is a woman. So when you get a woman, and I tell people this, I'm a twin who the first set of, having life, I spent it with a lady because my twin is a girl. And then coming into the world, I've spent so much time with women. And I understand there is nothing like one is above one and all of that. I've always had that. And I wonder when people see it the other way. So happy Women's Day, happy, the best man's day, like they would always say, because the best man for the job is a woman.
Thank you for that. Austin, of course, there's so much to talk about on sports. And of course, I know you love your women. You've got a daughter, you've got a wife, and of course, you're celebrating them for sure, right?
And of course, I love women in sports also. I cover women's sports passionately. I think they tell beautiful stories in our world of sports. They are record breakers, make you remember some of the things that they have done for sports development in Nigeria. And you know that we cannot but celebrate women on a special day like this. So shout out to every woman in Nigeria, on the continent of Africa, and the world in general, who has in one way or the other contributed to sports development. We love you guys, and we'll continue to support you guys the best way that we can as men to make you guys better women.
Of course, and it's all about breaking the bias. Which is the theme for this year. I really love that because, Austin, we've seen situations whereby, because she is a woman, and people feel she should act in a certain way. And sometimes, she's just human. She's like you. The fact that she's a woman doesn't make her different. When it comes to intelligence or hard work or any other thing, it's just who she is. So maybe with time, I just believe with this theme for this year, most people will come to understand that, hey, she's a woman, yes, she can talk sport. It doesn't necessarily mean, because we've heard about people say, women can't talk sports. I'm like, come on, what are you saying?
No way. No, Cecilia, I think we just need to get more women to come out, believe in themselves, tell their stories, celebrate their small wins. Look at what Coach Mills is doing. She is leading the Kenyan men's basketball team. We should celebrate that because that's big. I don't think we've ever done that in Africa, but you can tell that she's already, going beyond borders. And I think that's what we need to keep doing, celebrate women in little ways that they contribute, and then support them to do more in the society.
Yeah, that's just what we need to do, supporting them in whatever way we can. And of course, also knowing that, yes, we can identify with them. Yes, they can fit into that position. And of course, yes, they can really do that job. They shouldn't be questioned because they're women or you feel you can't do it, but then they can really do that. But Austin, as you said, we're celebrating women on the show today. And of course, we will be speaking with Gladys Ungut, who is the commissioner for sport, Cross River State Sports Commission. She will be talking to us this evening. Good evening. It's good to have you join us. Okay. Can you unmute yourself? I really can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, I think we'll get back to her much later when she's ready to talk to us. Interesting thing about her, Kehinde Austin, is the fact that she was appointed the Commissioner for Sports in Cross River State in February. And of course, a year later, they had to go for the National Sports Festival. And then they came with the list of the contingent, I think about 35.
Yep.
And then they went home with 30 medals. And 9 of those medals happens to be gold. And you're like, how did she do it in 1 year? Remember when Calabar was supposed to host the National Sports Festival that was postponed for like forever until Edo State now came up, and it's until Abuja hosted before Edo hosted. But then she came on and she was able to do something that, that's never happened in the state for a long time, being able to bring sports back into the state. I mean, that's something you really need to celebrate, Austin, and it's something that is really huge, Austin and Kehinde.
Yeah. And, and I know Cross River State so well and their sport. So I was saying I don't envy Gladys taking the role because the men left so much problems for her, But she got in there like a boss, first and first was to execute the National Sports Festival. And as you mentioned, they went out there to Edo, got 30 medals, and she's still trying to stable that ship. But let me get Kehinde talking before Gladys joins us. Kehinde, we need more Gladys in sports administration in Nigeria, don't we?
We do. Absolutely spot on. One of the things that have made me, revere women in positions, especially, the lofty ones, is the fact that an average woman is meticulous. She wants to get to the final details, whereas so many times you find men get the huge parts of the details and just, will cover up for the remaining. A woman will get to the final D of every issue, which gets them even, deeper results than men in the times where they get the chance. And, while growing up, I've been in capacity where probably in class or something, and I asked a simple question. I became friends with some ladies because of the fact that when you listen to them after having an issue with a course or something, they are speaking to you with further details than you ever thought. And I guess that is what the likes of Gladys have brought to the table. While you are looking at the huge part of the whole thing, they are taking note of those tiny things that when you put them together, they even make more meaning than the huge part, because the huge part would always be there. Hey, the players' welfare, administrators doing right and all of that. But there are so many other little things that somebody like Gladys would have taken into note that have given them such success. And like what Austin just said, I do not envy her. I know the kind of yearn for success that the Cross River, people always ask for. And when you get into that position, somebody is waiting somewhere, let's see what she will do. And you give them that. Trust me, huge, success for her with all of the pressure that comes with it is because averagely, a woman will take note of deeper, further details, tiniest of them to get the results.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're spot on right there, Kehinde, because I know at a time during the heat of the pandemic, when it was really heavy, Pelican Stars players were protesting because 9 months were being owed. And they couldn't even play games to even end the season. At the time, they were even relegated from the top flight. But then she came on Pelican Stars. Yes, they're not doing so well when it comes to results. But then they're playing games, they're traveling, they're being paid. So that's something also. And for the former commissioner to have left that huge debt down, for she to be able to come in and be able to take charge of that and do something, that's really, it's big, really. I mean, as Justin said, you wouldn't want to be in that kind of position. Yeah. And the fact that she was coming from an entertainment background, that's another thing. Not a sports background. Yes, an entertainment background. Being able to put it together, it's something. I really wish you can join us tonight, to tell us more about it. How many women will be inspired tonight to just follow their dreams? As a woman, your dream is limitless. It's not, you can't just say, oh, okay, I want to become a commissioner for sport, but can I really be that? Will I be given the opportunity? The thing is, just be ready, so when the opportunity comes, you'll be able to take it. That's what it is. Be ready. Once opportunity comes, you prepared yourself. Of course, you'll be able to do anything you want to do. Gladys is just an example that we all are talking about. There's so many of them, Kehinde. There's so many women across the board in Nigeria that, we really need to celebrate tonight.
Amongst our colleagues, some will say the man, who loves the ladies. Ladies football. I keep going back to the pandemic era where the entire world was skeptical when how will football resume. And If you remember so well, Angela Merkel, the German president, said football should resume in Germany. And the entire world screamed, no, why should football resume? It's still the pandemic and all of that. And when the Bundesliga resumed, all other leagues started taking notes and were copying what the German Bundesliga led by Angela Merkel to start. If you bring it down to Nigeria, while we're still skeptical, talking about the NNL, NLO, MPFL, Aisha followed the Ayomi Diron, the likes of them, Pauline Talent, all came together, talked about what can football, what can sport do to, you know, the lives of Nigerians in this period where it is almost all doom and gloom. And then the NWFL started. And let me not use the word that's coming to my head. The MPFL had to jump on it.
Jump on it.
Like, no, let them not leave us behind to start the MPFL. What am I saying? Do you know, as of the time when the NWFL was to start, it was still stories of how would they manage it. But these ladies have come together and have taken note of what is the worst case scenario. How can we manage, be pragmatic, be proactive instead of reactive? They saw that, and when they started, as of the time when some things were starting to, they knitted everything together, and the beauty just went on. And the men keep learning. Men, please just keep watching that and keep learning. And this season it happened again. The NWFL had to start again for the MPFL to copy, you know, start again.
All right, I mean, it's Women Today, and they're doing a whole lot, and two brilliant women will be joining us on the show. But Austin, I mean, I know you have a whole lot to say concerning this and everything. Just, I mean, the floor is yours.
I know. I just really wish we can get Gladys now, so we can really, you know, celebrate women today, particularly her story. She's got a beautiful story, and this is a good platform for us to, you know, use that to talk to more women, to bring them into sports administration in Nigeria. And while we do this with administration, we also remember our players and our athletes easily coming to mind. Some of them, a lot of them, Olufunke Oshonaike has been there for a long time, you know, giving glory to Nigeria's table tennis, blessing Okagbari. Our hearts is with her. We love her so much, and everything she's done for athletics in Nigeria. We know she's going through a very tough time now. But we really do hope that, not just blessing, quite a number. I'm sure if we start calling all the names, we will do the show 5 hours and we won't stop, you know, celebrating Nigerian women in sports. So if Gladys can hear us now, Cecilia, let's go back to Calabar. Gladys, good evening. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening.
Finally.
Okay, finally she's able to join us.
Good to have you on the show. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much for all you're doing for sports development in Cross River State. What does it feel like doing the job that quite a number of persons believe is designed for men?
Well, to me, I feel very great, and it was a great honor or a privilege for me to actually showcase what I know I have in me. Actually, when I was sent to that sports commission, I was asking myself, what do I know about sports? What am I going to do there? You know, but you know, I'm this kind of person that wherever I find myself, I'm a deep thinker. Like, let me say, I'm an innovative thinker. You know, a very creative person. So when I got there, I decided I could, you know, do something to make a difference, to let the world know that, you know, when you give a woman a chance at any point in time in any area, you know, the woman will actually show what, you know, the characters embedded in her by God. So I think that was what I was able to do. So I was able to display that capacity by the special grace of God. And I'm happy I did, and I'm happy I was sent to Sports Commission.
All right, what was it like for you, you know, coming from entertainment background, you know, going into sports? How did you blend in so easily under 1 year? We'll reel out your achievements, you know, especially at the National Sports Festival, what you were able to achieve with the athletes that came to Edo for the Sport Festival.
For me, like I said, it was a thing of joy, and then and coming to Edo, like the Edo Sports Festival was actually my first outing, like my first outing concerning sports activities. But like I said, anywhere I find myself, I try to blend. I try to, know the tenacity of the area or the department or agency. So coming to sports commission really opened my eyes and gave me the opportunity to learn more. And then I think it was a great moment then. It was a great moment.
Gladys, let's talk about some of the challenges you met, when you got on the job, because we know Cross River and the many problems of infrastructure, athletes' welfare, a lot of it. And then you got this job. Were you under any form of pressure to deliver?
Not at all, not at all. Just appoint you into an office. And of course, for any sensitive person, you should know why you are there. And for me, it was an opportunity to show to the world that, yes, I can do it. And by the special grace of God, like I said, the Edo outing was my first outing in anything that has to do with sports. And I think at the end, I was proud of myself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting one because I mean, when we were talking here, we're talking about how Cross River State had just 35 athletes going into the sports festival, where states were coming to as much as 200, 100. Cross River just had 35, and then you went home with 30 medals, right? 9 of which were actually gold. I mean, how did you, especially, there's some fields that you look at, you feel, okay, Cross River are really not strong in this particular field. How were you able to manage these athletes? I mean, the different association that is in the state to bring out top athletes and compete. What did you do differently?
Well, I think we were a team in the sports commission, myself and other commissioners and the chairman too. We were able to bring together the athletes of the commission, and then they went through screening, they went through trials, and were able to pick to choose the athletes we know that when we go out with them, we sure come back smiling with medals. So we had a series of trials with the athletes. I think we're able to pick the ones we know that, and of course, we came there even when people were coming with a huge number of athletes. We didn't bother. It's not about the number. They say, yeah, it's not about the number. I think we were the least. We're the state with the least athletes. But as God will have it, like I said, sports was born in Cross River State. Cross River State is sport, sport is Cross River State. So the number we went there, it wasn't a challenge to us because we know that, sure, we will come back smiling. And at least we tried our best, and we make the few persons who went there with happy. About the number, we wouldn't want to go with a whole lot of persons that will not be able to cater for them. So the few persons we went with, at least they made us proud, they made the state proud. And I think they were happy too because the governor was able to celebrate them at that level.
Now, I'm sure with that, Gladys, no one will debate the fact that women are better managers. You know what? I feel so blessed being in the middle of two beautiful women. Just hold it right there. We'll come back to you. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, what sort of legacy would Gladys like to leave in Cross River State when we talk about sports development? She'll tell us, so don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back to Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving Channels Television. It's International Women's Day, so today we're showing so much love to women in sports worldwide, not just in Nigeria. We always do it right here at Channel Sports, but today it's special attention. We've got Gladys. She's Commissioner of Sports in Cross River State, took the job. Men were struggling with it, and now she's making progress with it. So let's go back to that conversation, Gladys. Let's talk about some of the changes that you've already brought into sports in Cross River State compared to what you met on ground and what you're doing now. Okay, Cecilia, I think we lost Gladys. Hopefully she'll come back.
Yeah, hopefully she will be able to join us because we really need to know the story. Okay, I think she's back with us, Austin. Yeah.
Okay, Gladys, good to have you back. Nothing will spoil this women's celebration today. So Gladys, let's talk about some of the changes that you've brought to sports in Cross River State.
By the grace of God, I was appointed into the Sports Commission February 2020. And of course, COVID-19 came to disrupt a lot of activities. But on my part, I was able to organize a sports festival for young persons, at the Central Senatorial District. In Cross River State, we have 3 senatorial districts. And I come from Central Senatorial District, and I decided to start from home. To me, I felt it's like a test run. Okay. So I was able to organize a sports festival at 2020, and then we're able to get a few athletes. From there, we have discovered talent, which on my part, I have felt there will be a need for me to own an academy. Sports is something full of fun. And even if I leave sports, today, perhaps being taken to another ministry or agency, I think I will still be identifying myself with sports activities because I've come to enjoy sports. And for me, the impact I've created in my few years in office, I think barely 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I have done the Central Sport Festival first edition and second edition. And like I said, we have athletes that have been discovered, and we are doing our best to see how we can groom them and then give them out to, for national consumption. At least we believe by this, they will be able to make ends meet for themselves, better their lives, and they will come out from the streets. Like I keep telling most of them, there's no how you go for maybe a tedious training. All your mind is towards winning a medal or a trophy, and then you're exhausted back home. I mean, there's just no how you go and carry guns and start going back to the streets, or as a woman going back to the street. So, of course, you have a path chosen for yourself. And for me, I've tried my best, though resources have been a challenge, but I've tried my best with the help of a few individuals and a few companies who saw the need that there was need to groom the young persons. So, and then in the aspect of the female being included in sports activities, some young girls felt sports is mainly for guys, but at least I've been able to change a few persons' mentality that they can as well do well. Several women are being celebrated globally, sports women. So there too, at least I've seen a few talents in this my few years of the central sport activities. I've seen few ladies displaying, some, good sports activities. So, and they have been discovered, and they are also in our team. Like I said, we are trying to nurture a few of them. And then so there was a sports activities I was invited somewhere. So when I got there, I told them there will be next time they should include female team. If they did not include female team, they should not invite me. And they were like, they have to do it. Yeah. And also by the special grace of God, I'm a chairman of Badminton Association, Federation of Badminton Association Cross River State. And I make sure in every sport activities I engage myself, there should be badminton too. In our area here, people believe only in football and a few sports. Things like badminton are not known. But by the grace of God, my coach in the States, I was able to send him out to a few places where he has been able to impart the badminton knowledge into some school environments, school students. And I think as I speak right now, there's a school having their sports festival, and badminton is included. I'm happy. I think they'll be wrapping it up on the 19th, so I'll be going there because I'm invited. And I'll be happy to see that people are introduced into badminton are doing well. I think there will be a prize for them. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So,
It's a beautiful story, Gladys. I mean, I'm so happy with what you're doing with sports in your state, especially as you mentioned, it's something you were asked to do. And of course, you've been able to do all the things you needed to do. Austin actually asked a question on some of the problems you met on ground. Before you're able to make these changes, what are some of those problems that were there, when you came in?
the problem we met was a problem of I think uh, I think areas their stuff. What do they call it? Their salaries or their areas not being
Has to be
paid.
funding. That's the biggest enemy of sports in Nigeria.
Funding and resources has actually been our problem.
Okay. All right, I think, well, technology sometimes to just do the dirty thing, right, Austin? So, Gladys, I want to thank you so much for taking out time to join us tonight on the program. Hopefully, we should be able to talk to you again when the signals are clearer, on our subsequent program. I mean, Austin, it's a whole lot, what she's been able to put in place, concerning sports in the state and the achievements she's been able to, put.
With the little things Gladys talked about, you could tell that she's committed to the role. The little things she did with the National Sports Festival confirms that women are better managers. I have to say that again. You could tell that there was strategic planning and it was effective. She mentioned, don't go with so much and then you can't even take care of them.
Yes.
More problems for you can't win. So I think that's a good way to go. And let's throw it back to Kehinde right there with you in Lagos. Kehinde, I'm sure you were nodding your head in agreement to some of the things that Gladys talked about.
Yeah. So many at times I was even applauding while seated here. I'm sure Cecilia can testify to that because she's soft-spoken. You would think that is how she is on the field. I'm just, painting a picture how she will be on the field. She will be very, very tough because change has a lot of, persons that will come up against it. And for you to effect such change in such a short period, then you need to be so tough. But, we're having an interview and she's just, as mild, as gentle, as subtle as possible. And it's just the way it is. When you work with, the women, the ladies, you always understand this. Yes, you're speaking, but when you get to the field, it's always very... And when she started talking about, the things she had to put in place, like starting from home, and, there was something she said after we discovered a lot of, athletes, we put them out there for national consumption from from the central district to Cross River, then for, Nigeria, in its entirety. And then, so many states like Cross River, football, probably athletics, then maybe a little bit of handball, basketball. Sports like squash, badminton don't always get the nod. And she said because she's part of it, she has found a way to influence, so many young and upcoming in sports in that state, in the world of badminton. And that's how it is. I keep, whenever I come here, I talk about you give the child, more exposure to different sports. And trust me, you would understand that they love. I was seeing fencing the other day, and Nigeria, Lagos, kids, youth are getting to be, interested in getting to be a part of it. And it is what it is. Expose them more to different sports. And you'll find out that that lady who wants to be a table tennis player actually would have loved, badminton. And that lady who wants to be in swimming actually would have loved, netball. And that's how it is. For the women, it will continue to be so. Whether we like it or not, just give it a try. Whatever your manager you're doing, like Costa say, the best managers are women. Keep them to manage and just sit back and see how the difference will be in no time.
All right, and that's what. Man, it's a whole lot, really.
It's a whole lot.
I mean,
It's
the
a
way
whole
you
lot.
were able to handle, yeah, it's
She
a
really
whole lot. I mean,
unpacked, you know,
everything.
with
I
the
just
way
wish
she
we
was
had
taking
more
it
time,
easy.
you know, with her. But another woman we were supposed to talk to this evening happens to be the president of the Nigeria Aquatic Federation.
Yes.
That's swimming. Talking about Chinoye Dafeliu. If she can join us tonight, also we'll be talking to her if she's able to join us much later on the program, because we need to talk to these women who are making a difference. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you know, you are having sports federations. You can make just one woman, you know, that is heading a particular sport federation.
Or assistant to someone.
Or assistant or
you
something.
hardly find them being head.
Being head.
Now
and,
you're saying.
And then when we saw what the Nigeria Triathlon Union did, that the president was just the only man and he was surrounded by women, we were like, okay, they've been able to make like about 80%, you know, incorporate the women into it, because that's what IOC really wants. They just want a situation where at least, I mean, half should be women, half should be men. There should be a balance, you know, in between. As long as they're qualified for the position, then they have the opportunity to really take the lead. We had to celebrate Nigerian Triathlon Union because, you know, of them taking the initiative, you know, just allow women to be not really allowing, because they merited that position. You know, for them to be in that
probably
position.
We should say, you know, when you merit, why not go ahead and do the job that you know what you're merited for? And when they are, you know, when they get to that position, you see them, you know, thriving. You see them doing so well, because it's been years of building. It's been years of taking notes. It's been years of building this experience, understanding everything. And when you get to that position, like we have said, they take more notes of situations than, you know, the male counterpart. So many times we male want to just be tough. Hey, I am the man here. But the women will find softer way, tougher way to bring together and get, you know, results. And it's very interesting, really.
It is. All right, let's take a look at the games for tomorrow. Talking about Nigerian women's football premiership. That's the games that will take place tomorrow. We have about match day 10 from Group A. Nasarawa Queens and Pelicans, Nasarawa Amazons and Pelican Stars will be in action. Pelican Stars, they were able to get a draw against Confluence Queens.
Pelican Stars.
Yes, because they'll be in action laughing against Nasarawa Amazons. And Confluence Queens and Oshun Babes will also be in action. Nigeria Tales and Edo Queens, the match everyone has been waiting for. Nigeria Tales, you know, the last time they went to Edo, they came from 2 goals down to get a draw. That was, I think, the second game of the season.
High-flying Edo Queens, Nigeria Tales, newbies who are doing so well.
So well. And Edo Queens are yet to lose, right? Let's see if this unbeaten is going to end in Abuja, because the way they flew into Abuja in the style.
And also talking about motivation.
Yes, that's
Equal pay is happening in Edo, where the Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens. So you are motivated, do well.
You do well, right? Royal Queens and Abia Angels will also be in action. Another game to look forward to is FC Robo Queens and Rivers Angels, defending champions. That game will be in Ijebu-Ode, of course, Dikbo Dina Stadium, because FC Robo are still serving their, you know, match ban. So I think this will be the end. After this, like 3 games or something. Then Delta Queens and Bayelsa Queens. That's the Niger Delta Derby. Another big game. Delta Queens already lost their unbeaten run when they went to Rivers to play against them. They lost by a lone goal, but then their unbeaten run is over for them. So against Bayelsa Queens, that's the game to look forward to.
Yes, both games are games to look forward to. FC Robo, hey, I'm Lagos in and out.
Yeah,
so
I know.
FC Robo always get my attention. Playing against Rivers Angels, arguably one of the best franchises when it comes to female football in Africa. And then you go to the next game, Delta Queens against Bayelsa Queens. Delta are becoming a thorn in the skin for Rivers Angels, just like Bayelsa also. As of last season, Bayelsa are still bitter that they would have been the first representative of Nigeria at the, you know, continental level, talking about the Women's Champions League. But it is what it is. Some persons have said, even if Bayelsa had won the league, give it to Rivers Angel for what they've done over the years. But they got there, and, you know, lessons learned, they will get back and do better. Then another thing, Rivers Angels also are getting motivated. In Rivers State is also equal pay. Look at both tables, Group A and Group B. The 2 teams topping those groups, Edo Queens and Rivers Angels, are enjoying equal pay from their respective states. So motivate the teams. If you look at what Rivers Angels is doing, you cannot put it where Rivers United. Rivers United are underachievers if you want to compare to what Rivers Angels have done. So why not make it equal pay? And why not continue to motivate them? So good one. But those games will get our attention very definitely.
That's why Rivers United, they are doing everything possible this season to ensure that
to win the league, be at the continent, not just continent, Champions League. So the challenge is up. The challenge is up.
Continue that top of the table. Okay, if Austin is ready, I don't know if Austin is ready. Technology, I don't know.
He loves the female football.
I'm listening, but good fixtures, juicy fixtures in Group B. You guys talked about it. You know, when FC Robo and Rivers Angels are playing, you expect sparks, you know, in such women's football game in Nigeria. And of course, the Ultra Queens, let's see if they can, you know, worry by Ultra Queens. But you don't take anything away from the fixtures in Group A also. And Nigeria tells, I told you that I like the team because of the guts they've shown. Edo Queens also showing some level of, you know, superiority because of, you know, the care they are getting from the state government. So that should also get us talking. Nasarawa Amazons and Pelican Stars should also get us talking, because Pelican Stars, Coach Asuko, remember Cecilia, after the last match, he said that he didn't know much that was going on. So after that draw, let's see how they will respond, you know, going away from home. Good that we're talking about the Women's League today on a day we are celebrating International Women's Day. Good job, Cecilia.
And of course, tomorrow we should be able to have a comprehensive review of all the games that went down today. And hopefully, as you mentioned, Pelican Stars can get something out in Lafayette. But then that's a very, very tall order. We know how hard it can be, because Nasarawa Amazons, they are a high-scoring team. So it's hard, really. And for the coach to have complained that he doesn't have a striker, okay, converting the defender to a striker. So it's a whole lot of work that they need to put in place. Quickly, let's touch down on NNL. Of course, Austin, you know, it's the most important league in the country. So take a look at the fixture starting from. That's a midweek games, match day 5, A2. You have DMDFC, Molufashi FC, Greenbird and Kogi United, Jigawa Golden Stars and Road Safety, GM Liberty and Kebbi United, Adamawa United and Doma United will also be in action. And in B1, you have Gateway United and Bender Insurance, Oshu United and Ikorodu City, Abeokuta Stormers and Vandresa FC, J Atete and Campus FC. You also have Ibom Youth and Ekiti United. All right, and of course, continuing, you have Synergia and Sporting Lagos. Sporting Lagos, this weekend, they actually got their first win of the season. So see if they can build on that. Of course, they can build on that. Inewe United and Nota Solo also in action. Warrior Wolves and Go Round FC, FC1 Rockets and Calabar Rovers. Apex Crane and Bayelsa United. You have Abia Comet and Crown FC in B2.
Calabar Rovers, they are coming for you. Yes. They say they are now Rovers of Calabar.
Rovers of Calabar. What's the difference?
I'm asking myself.
Calabar Rovers, Rovers of Calabar.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see the change in it. We'll give them a promotion
something
to MPFL. Yeah, that's when it will really be interesting. On match day 5 coming from Nigeria National League, of course.
The most important league.
I'll finish it with that.
Why I call it the most important league, agreeing to that, it's the only league that gives and takes. Yes, just like, you know, the Supreme Being. He's the only one who gives to the MPFL, collects
and also
from the
from the MPFL.
So it's the most important.
Austin is smiling, I guess. So which of the game will obviously get you talking about?
Whenever we talk about the NNL, and you start with the most important league in the country, I'll let you have your fun, Cecilia, because you know, I know where you're going with that. But aside what you guys have said, I'm super excited with the things we're seeing in the NNL this season, and it's all shades of development. You know, all shades of we want to, you know, do things differently. We want to change. They're thinking branding, they're repackaging. You know, clubs are seeing, particularly take Lagos for instance. None of those teams are government owned. And that's what we're talking about. That mentality alone in the NNL is what we need to change football in Nigeria. Because what we have in the MPFL It's a selling league. But from the NNL, you can start thinking development. If they can be bold now to have young players that will represent the country in under 17, under 20, go to the Olympics before you get to the Super Eagles, it will become the game changer for league football in Nigeria.
I think that's really a beautiful one, Austin, right there. Because, I mean, I'm waiting for a day where you have on the 17 and, of course, on the 20. And you on the 17, basically, and you hear,
Proper
this one is from Sporting Lagos. And not a feeders team. And not, maybe you hear one name of one academy from somewhere. You're like, okay, where is he from? Or maybe you have to pick players from MPFL for on the 17. I'm like, come on, no matter what it is, it's on the 17, MPFL. We know what's going on. Okay, hopefully they will be able to produce such stars for the country and then really know how important NNL is, right? Okay. So let's leave that and quickly touch down on what FIFA is talking about concerning making a special transfer window for foreign players in Russia and Ukraine. I mean, we have so many Nigerians who are playing right there in the Russian league and also Ukraine league. We're happy that some of them, especially in Ukraine, were able to come home, but some were still stuck. But what FIFA is actually saying right now is a good way. I mean, it's a good thing for these players because Victor Moses, for instance, comes to mind, Austin.
Yeah, you know, and we must remember that they are going through a conflict and we can't leave them. So FIFA is thinking this is a very good one, opening a different transfer window for foreign players in Ukraine and Russia. Don't forget, the other day we spoke to Viv Solomon Otabo. He just signed for a club in Russia. He has not even kicked a ball, and then this war started. So a good one. When FIFA talks about flexibility, protection of players, that's what we can see in that document. They're looking out for these guys, and it is very, very, you know, welcoming. So let's see where this will go, and then hopefully it can bring, you know, some stability and peace to the minds of those players in the region.
That's what we're hoping for. But we need to go on a break. When we come back, I'll get the thoughts of Kehinde Idris. Of course, we'll be getting updates coming from the UEFA Champions League. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. We're going to get the thoughts of Kehinde Idris concerning this, especially on FIFA, you know, doing something really everyone was expecting. I'm not surprised about this decision at all because these players really need a special transfer window to be able to move to another club because of the conflict in Ukraine.
Yeah, when we have situations on ground, we make makeshift decisions just to help that period ease out, you know, a lot of players, situation, clubs, and the likes. Probably when we get past this phase, we can now go back to status quo. But for now, whichever clubs who are needing players and who can absorb, you can get these players, you know, helping them out of Russia or Ukraine, which is very laudable. I think this is deep thinking from the FIFA Council, not waiting for the governing bodies of the continent, talking about UEFA and the likes. Now it's FIFA mandating this, saying if you're a player here and there, Russia and Ukraine, go out. And this is special window. It's not waiting for summer or waiting for the winter, you know, break to get transfer. So it's a very beautiful one. And hopefully, like you mentioned, we have Nigerians, Chidera Ejuke also, the likes of Victor Moses, all will be happy to jump on this. If, still there is an if you want to leave. It's not you must leave if you want to leave. So if you choose to stay, no problem, as long as you're guaranteed of your safety. And also, how do you live life during that period? Because I'm sure payment of salaries and all of that might be another issue. So go to a place where your means of livelihood will still continue to be. And after the whole thing, you can return to your mother club.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. All right, quickly touch down on the UEFA Champions League games currently going on. Austin, Bayern Munich are acting as if I don't know who is chasing them. Robert Lewandowski.
I know, Cecilia, it's a rush.
4-0.
This is how you show that you are angry. They are angry from what happened in the first leg.
First leg.
4-0. Under 40 minutes, they had scored 4 goals. Lewandowski with a hat-trick, 2 from the penalty spot. Gnabry with the 4th goal. So FIFA, UEFA should find a way to you know, show some fair play because this can get to 8, 9, or even 10.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Right now, you check the aggregate; it's a 5-1 already. I mean, when we thought Salzburg was gonna do something, thinking when they were leading 1-0, it was 9 minutes before Bayern were able to recover, and he ended 1 on the first leg, and they were waiting. Okay, you know what? Come to Allianz Arena and see what's gonna happen, and it's currently happening. Right. That's the anger. Liverpool and Inter Milan is still goalless.
After the first leg, before the first leg, Bayern lost to Bochum. 4-2 it ended.
Yes.
So I, like so many other persons, felt the anger from that game will be taken straight to Salzburg. But to our surprise, it ended 1-1. I felt, hope this Bayern are not becoming suspicious. Yeah. And then the second leg arrived. Every anger from that period has now been accumulated. At the 31st minute of this game, 4 goals already sitting in. So I don't know if Salzburg, how they can come back from this. They can also get goals. Yeah. But like they say, when two people are fighting and one is getting slaps here and there, how can you even raise it? And the only thing you can do is to block. So Salzburg can only do defending now. I doubt if they can muster out any attack right now. So like Austin said, if probably UEFA do not do something, maybe we're having a rout, a very, very deep one.
Or it might just end 5. Yeah, I rushed.
It will be more than 5 with what I'm seeing.
All right, quickly, let's take a look at the games for tomorrow, of course. The likes of Manchester City, Real Madrid, PSG. Yeah, the first leg ended 1-0 in favor of PSG. And right now, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Neymar will be coming to Santiago Bernabeu, and we'll see what they can do in that one. For Manchester City, I think this is already forgone, although Pep has been complaining that, well, injury worries and also the red card by Kyle Walker might just be their undoing. Austin, take this one.
I think it's mind games from Pep. You know, he's got a good team that can get the job done. And I say it all the time. Cecilia, there is the game before the actual game, and that's what these managers play. That's their game right there. Put out words that we make your opponent start thinking you're not ready. Get into their minds and see what you can do. I think that Manchester City will easily win that one tomorrow and then go through. It's just PSG and Real Madrid. Okay. They'll really get us talking.
Wow. that's a game nobody, I'm saying nobody can tell me where that pendulum will swing. Both teams are good. Both teams are hungry. They want to do so well because the Ancelotti-led Real Madrid team is getting a lot of criticism as much as they're sitting at the zenith of the La Liga table right there. There is still the question of, it seems like Ancelotti is not that coach where the kind of play and all of that. So getting to go further in the Champions League might just help Ancelotti score. So he wants to do that with the team and do better. For PSG, with every stick's being thrown at Mauricio Pochettino and questions being asked of the players. Is it that they don't want to play for the coach? Is it that this team is not as good as we all think? It's a whole lot of questions. And this game might just be the one to either put a final nail on the coffee of one of the managers.
Final nail?
I think so.
We'll see what's going to happen in that and to see if the likes of Kylian Mbappe will be able to do something. Well, the good news is, or rather the good thing that they've been able to do, away goal rule doesn't count anymore.
So just
no matter
outscore.
What happens, you know that you have to outscore your opponent. That's what PSG will need to do tomorrow night, or maybe Real Madrid will also need to do at tomorrow night. For Man City, and well, we just know that yes, they should just forget about it. All right, Kane, I want to thank you so much for taking our time to talk to us today, be in the studio, and also celebrate the International Women's Day with us.
It's good to be here, really. It felt so good, and I like talking about the women and what the women do. So happy to be here on a day like this.
Thank you. All right, my name is Cecilia Omogwe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a brilliant night rest.
Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. Happy International Women's Day.